You good to go?
Yeah, man, I just sat down.
So, shit, how you doing, man? It's been a while. I know you just got done with Florida, but let's catch up real quick.
Yeah, same old thing, man. Same old thing. Work, fish, take care of the kitties.
Yeah, I like how you can say you just working fish right now because I'm not fishing right now. Um,
Yeah, no, man. Oof.
this shit
I've been
is.
seeing those. I feel for you, man.
Yeah, I know you. I know you remember those days back when you
Oh
were
yeah.
a real New Yorker.
But you really appreciate it when you're able to get out, man. That's the thing about that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
When the time comes, you really appreciate it when it is time to get out. We get, down here where we get the privilege of fishing year round. So
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
when March, April comes for you guys, it's real nice.
yeah. It's on. But well, shit, man. You just got done with Florida or the whatever trail event down there in Kissimmee. How do you feel, dude? This is your first time doing a live event like this, right?
I done the KAF in on Okeechobee in January.
Okay.
So that was like my first, real live event with over 40 anglers and stuff. So I did a little better on that one. I came in first in that one. This one I had a decent showing, but I was a little disappointed in the way it turned out.
What do you think, man? Because there was a lot of good sticks there. Russ Snyder was there. Christine Fitz
Yeah,
was there. I mean, everybody was there, and this was. I would say this was like probably your first time going against like that level of competition or those kind of names, right? Because I mean,
yeah, definitely.
everyone who's a someone seemed to want to be there in Florida, and it's really funny. But a lot of people were coming after you. Did you see the memes and shit?
Oh my God, man, it was insane. My phone was going off all day because I was getting tagged in all sorts of things. I was getting tagged in everything. I mean, just funny, man. Entertaining, man. Just real cool. Cool for
No,
the sport.
it was funny, man. But it's like there's like a mix, right? There's people who are rooting for you, and then there's people who just wanted to see the barbarian fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course, man. You got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
That's like that with everything.
So no pressure when you're out there.
Nah, I don't think there was. I mean, it's fishing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It
Right.
ain't that serious. It ain't. We're not curing cancer out there.
No shit, right? That's what I
We're,
always try
we're
to
just
remind myself. It really is just fishing. Like if you take it too seriously, you're probably not doing it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's fishing. I mean, you obviously want to do good, and you're gonna press on to do well. But at the end of the day, it's fishing.
Right. So tell me about the body of water. Is this all was it all familiar ground for you? Is that some of your stomping grounds?
I fished it before. I fished in as a co-angler in out of a glitter boat. I did a little bit there. Other than that, not never really out of a kayak because we got too many good waters down here where those bodies of water they're not the greatest for kayak bass fishing. For a big event it is, but to just go out and fish them for say a day or a week, really not. We between Fellsmere, Kenansville, and smaller bodies of water, there's better choices.
So you like the smaller bodies of waters.
Yeah, I mean, there is lakes on that chain that are smaller.
Right.
So, I mean, this year, knowing fishing them and seeing them, and then next year is going to be. I mean, every year it's on the same bodies of water. This year, I'm going to pay attention to those lakes. So
Yeah.
I'm going to make it home field advantage next year.
Yeah, I
You
mean, that's a
know.
good point, though. I was talking to my last guest, Drew Gregory. We were talking about that too, like how you know one of the reasons we got into kayaks was to fish some of those smaller bodies of waters and to get off those big lakes.
Right.
Not there's anything wrong with big lakes. Obviously, they got their reputations, and but there's a reason why the big boats go to those lakes and not the smaller
Right.
lakes because of accessibility. And we were talking about it, it's like I wish we could see more like smaller bodies of waters like be used in like tournaments and stuff like that. Just because there's so many great places in this country to fish, like especially in like upstate New York, all the different fisheries we have up here. And like, it's just one of the things I try to do now that I'm a tournament director is really try to stay off the big lakes and hit some of those smaller bodies of water that I think, just that's why you're in a kayak, it's to go explore and
Right.
have fun on those lakes.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. I mean, I get why they do it. I mean, especially on big events, you got a ton of
Right.
anglers. The Kissimmee chain, you got so many different lakes you could choose from. You don't have to go on the bigger lakes, although you can win on those lakes, but it's tough if the fish aren't there. You'll travel 3 miles to a spot and there's just nothing.
Right.
Because the bass they're spread out. Um, So it can be difficult. That's what happened on my day two. My plan on day two was to fish Lake Kissimmee. North end of it had a strong south wind, and the area I went to, I pre-fished. I done great. I had two great pre-fishes over there. I had one horrible pre-fish where I skunked out. So that's why I saved it for day two. I figured it's either going to be I'm going to strike gold or it's going to be a disaster. And it was a disaster day two. And thank God I was able to. I went to a small body of water where I knew there was fish, and I just I grinded it out and put a limit together with like an hour and a half left.
Right.
So that was.
Well, how much time did you have to prepare for this? I mean, I know you live in Florida, but I mean, did you get over there? Because you're like me, you're a working man, you got family and shit. So, I can't just go for a week and hang out.
No, there was no hanging out, man. It was get out of work and drive 2.5 hours to a spot, check it out. I mean, some of the days the weather was terrible. It was 30-something degrees. So any pattern you put together, it wasn't much of a pattern. You know what I mean? So it was kind of just get the lay of the land, learn where you might have grass flats, learn where you might be able to find some offshore grasses and stuff. Just learn the lay of the land is what you were trying to do more than locate fish.
That's pretty much all my pre-fishing is. It's not really finding fish as much as it just like finding areas that fish might be.
That looks good.
I've had some success with that, but obviously, I wish I had more time to be able to go out there and really like, find 3 bites here, find 3 bites there, so I could have all these different plans. But that's just the nature of the beast. I can't tell my wife that I'm going down to Florida for 2 weeks to go
right
to maybe win a check that 100 other anglers are trying to win. So it's just it's tough, man. But I think there are something I think though that kind of pre-fishing when you're really just going out there and like exploring and finding spots can sometimes be better than like some of those guys who are out there because you start to trust them. Like you were saying earlier, the pattern won't be there, so you start to trust these patterns, that work for you one day, but then something changes dramatically or whatever small changes, and that pattern's gone, and then you're kind of like, up shit's creek trying to figure out what to do. And so I don't know. Sometimes I think pre-fishing is a curse more than it is like a blessing. Like being able to pre-fish a lot is like more of a curse than is a blessing. Because me, I don't really have that many options. I got to find the grass, I got to find the ledges, I got to find things like that, and just hope to God I can make those work. Instead of trusting something that they ended up biting me in the ass on game day.
That's it. I know quite a few guys who had a lot better pre-fishes than I did, but tournament day they didn't have that success. Yeah. Their pre-fishes were going amazing. I mean, I remember they're putting up all sorts of Facebook posts of these giants they're catching, and I'm like, holy cow! They're killing it. Right. And then tournament day came, and their bite was gone. It just wasn't there. It's the difference. You can't fall in love with that pre-fish. You know what I mean? Because it's a different game when you're fishing on a Saturday and Sunday, and you got a ton more people fishing. You got more kayakers out there. You got more bass boats out there. You got pleasure people out there on the weekend. So you can't really fall in love with what you're doing too much in pre-fish.
Yeah, I mean you can hope for the best, and sometimes it'll work out in your favor, but. I don't know, like when you look at tournaments, only one person wins that tournament, you know what I mean? And only a certain amount of people, placing the money. All those other people, they pre-fished, they did all the things that they thought was right as well, and it's just the way the game goes sometimes. So I don't know. These days, I'm not really sure if I want to, because it costs money for me to to get off work, to go on leave, to buy a campsite for a week or two. Just to get my ass whooped on game day because I could imagine like the disappointment when you think you have something, and you've been hammering, you've been grinding for like 2 weeks or a week. You got it dialed in, and then come game day, like you skunk. You get like 2 fish, and then I just couldn't. That sucks. And I hope it never happened to anyone, but we all know it does happen to people. But that's just something I was thinking about, like. Especially going into the season, like what I want to do with some of the tournaments, and like you get all nervous, like, well, shit, all these guys are gonna be out here doing this and doing that, and it's like, well, those guys lose too. So we got so you'll pick your battles and decide what can work best for you and your family. But that's kind of like my opinion on pre-fishing. Is like really just got to find the spots that I think would produce and hope that's going to work for me on most of the tournaments I'm going into this year.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know if that's what the bigger names of the sports do, the Russ Snyders, the Christine Fishers. I mean, they get the group that's usually always in the top. you have to talk to them and see what their opinion is on it. But mine is, I was just going just to kind of find good waters,
Right.
fishable waters that look good. And then you got to plan for winds. You gotta try to find areas that all right, we're going to be getting south winds, we're going to be getting north winds, we got a
Right.
cold front coming. So all that stuff comes into play in your planning. You got to pre-plan for all that.
Yeah.
And you kind of know that everybody's doing that. So now you got to figure out, well, where can I go that's not going to be amongst 60 other guys who've got the same plan?
That's been kind of like my thing. I'm doing all these map studies and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do at some of these tournaments that I'm doing. And I'm obviously hitting these things pretty early, but I'm looking at like you got to do something different. You can't go to these spots because that's exactly where everyone else is going to be.
Right.
But that's a good thing. It can also be a bad thing because there's a reason why people want to go to those spots because they probably already been. So it's a tough. I'm sort of balance like what I really want to do. Because you could go out there and throw a Hail Mary and find a real good spot with smallies on there that most people didn't know existed. But then again, you can go out there and not have anything and miss out on all the fish that everyone else is getting. So this whole fishing tournament thing. It's
all part of the game, man.
It's a good mind fuck. You just sit up. You'll stay up late. You'll spend some late nights, trying to figure out what you want to do with yourself, but and never really find an answer. I don't know how many times I've woken up at like 2:00 in the morning or couldn't sleep just so I could go sit at the kitchen table and look at my map apps or something like that to try to figure out what I wanted to do. It's a vicious cycle. Man. Yeah, that's
what drives us, though, man. That's what drives you to do it. You know what I mean? That's what drives you that pushes you to do this stuff.
Yeah.
That waking up 2 a.m. to go look at a map and think you got something, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And at the same time, it's a curse,
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. Like my wife's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I'm okay.
I don't think so. I don't think I am.
No. But yeah. So like, how'd you feel, day one? I mean, did you feel you had a bite? Did you figure it out? Or were you still kind of just out there just swinging for the fences? I mean, it's
day one. I mean, in the 2-day, that's where strategy comes in. You gotta plan for 2 days. If you crap out on day one, your tournament's over. It's over because you're not gonna be able to come back in day 2. So day 1 was more catch 5 fish, catch a limit. Doesn't have to be a huge limit. Just be in the mix for day 2.
Right.
And then day 2 is when you're gonna swing for the fences. And like I said, I had a couple of 100-inch days on Kissimmee. So day 1 was just play it safe. I played it safe. I caught one big kicker, which kind of put me into the 90s, which I wasn't even planning for.
Right.
And then day 2 came, and that was we're going for it all now. Now we're going for 100 inches, and we're gonna try to blow everybody out now. And
now you were in the money both days, right?
I came in the money, and Saturday came in the money, and then I finished 8th in the Invitational overall, one above Christine Fisher. She came in 9th. We had a little exchange because I thought she was in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, then we had another little exchange and stuff. So that was, she's cool, man. Everybody's just cool people. It's just good people.
Right.
Everybody's.
Let me ask you, because I know it's just fishing, but with the shit talking and the games that we love to play, how good did it feel like when you did get a limit and you knew it was a pretty decent limit? I mean, not necessarily the winning limit, but it's we're talking shit. Anywhere in the top 10 is a lot better than anywhere outside the top 10 or something like that. Did you feel like some of that weight was off your shoulders? Like, oh, thank God! Because
God, yeah.
Because everyone's coming for you.
I'd be
everyone's coming for you. Like if you would have skunked, that might have ruined you. You know what I mean? So,
no doubt. That's why day 2, I was sweating out there. Day 2, day one went well, man. Day 1 went good. Like you said, it was definitely a monkey off my back. I mean, I finally uploaded my photos at like 2:30 in the afternoon when I got service to do it. I looked at the standings. I mean, I was right there at 2nd. Then I got bumped down to 3rd and then 4th. So I was like, you know what? You did what you had to do. You know. And I looked down the list, man. I was like the only Florida guy that was in the mix.
Right.
There was like every other guy from Florida. I mean, some of the best guys in Florida, your Doug Wilsons and stuff, they had rough tournaments, They had a rough go at it. And so I was there, I was representing well, and I set myself up for day 2, which was good. And then day 2 was a disaster. For about 6 hours of day 2 was horrendous. And that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, wow, I just went from a hero to a goat in a matter of friggin' 18 hours.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't remember who posted. It might have been Jason Gardner, but like it was like probably midway to whatever day it was, but it was like still waiting for like had a picture of you with a 0 and said we're still
Right.
waiting. And I'm like, please, Conrad, please catch a fish. Don't give this to them because they were all like, it was just like you could see it, like feel it on the KBN side, like it was just like everybody was just waiting. Everybody just wanted for some reason you like to shove up your ass or to praise you, but there's like there's like a weird energy, just waiting to see what you were going to do. A lot of people were focusing on what you were going to do.
Oh yeah, man. I got my messenger was blown up, man. I mean, a lot of the guys that give me hell on, in front of everyone, they're like my biggest fans, man, biggest supporters, honestly. They're the ones that are 4 o'clock in the morning messaging me, hey, good luck, man. Prove these guys wrong, prove everybody wrong that you're just some online fisherman and you could do it on the big stage. And so it was cool, man. It's cool to see that. And it's fun, man. It's fun. Russ Snyder's chopping my head off and putting it up in the meme.
Dude, I pissed my pants because
man.
if anyone else would have done that, I could care less. But when Russ did that,
man,
because he doesn't seem like the guy to do that, and he picked like the goofiest picture with the craziest smile. I'm like, oh my god, this is gold. Like, I mean,
it was gold.
It was fun, man. It was fun watching all the interaction, man.
Yeah, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, my buddy made this. Is this cool if I put this up?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro, of course, man. Are you kidding?" I was like, "That's comedy gold right there, man.
Yeah.
That's great."
Oh man,
like I said,
I
can. Yeah, man. He was cool. I went over and introduced myself to him, and because I've chased him a little bit, and it's all out of respect, man. Like I told him, I said everybody's trying to get to where you're at and be at your level. So, he messaged me Sunday morning at like 4:30 in the morning. Said, "Hey man, good luck." He goes, "You better catch him today because I'm certainly going to." This was like Sunday, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, how does this guy know that he's gonna do good today?
Yeah. He wakes up and knows that shit.
Yeah, he tells me, he's like, "Yeah, you better catch him today because I certainly am." I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, how does this guy know this? It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
He's got us all fooled, man. We all think he's just this really nice guy, but deep down, he just cutting heads, cutting throats, getting after.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, no, he's in a league of his own, man. I learned that over this past weekend. To the week he had with losing his fish finder, having it stolen, not losing it, losing his stuff, flipping his kayak, then having his fish finder stolen. I mean, to keep that focus and still come out and take first, and he was right behind me. I mean, in day one, he was in fifth. I was in fourth. Dude's just unbelievable. It's gonna be tough to get to where he's at. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, what do you think about because this is just you're still kind of new, right? I mean, last season you came out with the KBBT and you talked enough shit where everyone wanted to know who you were.
Right.
And now and last year it was all about he won't do a live event. He won't do a live event. You finally do a live event and you catch checks at both of them, which is incredible. Whether your first place or 10th, whatever. Like when you catch a check at one of these national tournaments, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it now? Like, has the sport changed for you at all? Where you're thinking about you want to start doing some traveling? Because right now, because you've done so well, people are like, well, he won't ever leave the state line. He won't ever leave Florida. I've already heard that shit talking. Is there anything else you want to do right now, or are you kind of like,
no, man. Yeah, no, I'm not happy with work reasons, and like you said, it's tough to go and travel and spend a bunch of money on campsites and food and gas for a week or two. But no, it's going to be done. It's coming up. I mean, it's definitely something I'm gonna branch out and do.
Well, I mean,
I've been fishing since I'm a kid, man. Like I told you the first time we talked, I'm fishing since I'm like 2-3 years old. Up north. So I know I know what I can do. I know if I had more opportunity to be out on the water, like Russ Snyder's and them. I mean, those guys, they live on the water from what I hear. I don't know. Yeah, I think he's a guide. He guides for work, so he's out there a lot. If I had that sort of time, I may be a little bit more of a thorn in his side. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm trying to get there. I mean, I'm trying to definitely get out of Florida, do some live events. I mean, we got the KFL coming up, so that's going to be, we're traveling for that. We already got our schedule. We have to go to Alabama. We got to go to North Carolina. So I'm going to be traveling for that. So that'll be my first taste of live events that are outside of Florida. And that'll be for the KFL, which is, I think, is going to be a a really cool thing coming
Yeah,
up.
I gotta get Greg on the show. I haven't really paid that much attention to it, but what exactly is going on with the KFL? Like, look, last time I talked to Greg, KBBT was just was getting big, and then for whatever reason, we just hadn't had a chance to sit down and have him on the show or anything like that. But what exactly is going on with the KFL? I know I'm getting a lot of like friend requests from all these different teams.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I see you guys are like kicking people off your team and trading people for this person, and I'm like, what are these weirdos doing over there?
What are these weirdos? Yeah, no, it's coming together, man. It came together over the last few months. The schedules have been developed. I mean, teams are having jerseys made. We're down in at the Kissimmee event. I mean, you got guys wearing their team jerseys already. The guys from Mass, the Mass Maulers. You got Derek Brundle, Conant, Ken Wood, the guy who won the event, the kid Ferreira. They got their Mass Maulers KFL jerseys on, all ready to go, man. All sponsored up, ready to go. So schedule's been developed. Greg Nosa has got a great plan moving forward of how he's going to show the games. It's going to be edited down. I don't think it's going to be live. It's going to have GoPros, and then the footage is going to get edited down into a nice, maybe a little hour piece of a game is what it'll be. So it'll be, the footage will be great. It ain't going to be crotch shot fishing where you're watching the guy's crotch for 2 hours, or 8 hours. It's gonna be well done, man. And I spent some time with Greg over in Kissimmee. We had dinner and stuff, a lot of laughs, man. Good dude. Yeah, real good guy, and he's got a good plan, man. He's got a good plan, and he's got some good names in the league already.
That's what I'm trying to. Cause I know there was a lot of like pushback against it, which I don't know why. Let's see what the guy can do. I mean, this could be whatever. I don't like shitting on anyone's plans or whatever, but right. Like I don't know how it couldn't be successful because a lot of people are buying into it, and not just a lot of people, like big name people in the sport. Guys, the national champions and rookie of the year, angler of the years, they're all buying into this. I don't know why it's what people's problem with this, but it looks like it's not just put together. It looks like there's like a big plan for it, and the right people are in the right spot. So I don't know. I think it's going to be successful. I mean, everyone gave shit to Greg when he did the KBBT, and that turned out to be really, really good. So I mean, the guy hustles. He travels. He's always in a different state with one of the members, and so I mean, like he's putting in the effort. He's putting in the effort. I don't see why this won't be successful, and if he could do it right, like people are gonna want to watch it. Like we're waiting to see, like we're waiting to get some good footage and watch kayak fishing like you would any other sport.
Right. I think all the pieces of the puzzle are there. He's a smart dude. He's a businessman, so he knows what he's doing. The right sponsors are starting to come on. He's got some other things in the work behind the scenes that he was talking to me about that it's still too early to talk about, but some big name sponsors might be jumping on that are really going to blow this thing up. And it's looking good, man. It's looking good. And like you said, KBBT's got the national qualifiers coming up. That'll be another possible travel, because they're going to do the bracket. The top, if you can make it to the Elite Eight, you're going to leave your home state, and we're all going to one body of water to fish against each other.
That was like when Greg first started. That was like wasn't my complaint, because when we first started, like it was during COVID, right in the beginning of COVID when KBBT started, and so whatever, like we were just happy if you could fish. Good on you, because some places wouldn't even let you on the water. But that was like I thought it was a great idea. But I was like, yeah, but as a future, start getting to the future, like we got to start putting people in the same body of water, because you're never going to win that argument. That people argue. It's a good argument. I mean, you can look at it a whole bunch of ways, but not fishing the same waters, not having the same variables or obstacles, it creates a different. It creates that argument of like. Meet me at this. Yeah. So I love that he's making those changes as things start opening up, and I think it's going to be big. I think what Greg's doing, I think he's going to do a lot of great big things throughout the sport, and I like it because it's different. It's a different format than like what KBF and Hobie, which are all great organizations, but that's the way they do things. You can't just create something that's going to be the same as something that's already been created. Like you got to have something that's going to be different. And I think Greg is that. He is the guy who's bringing something different to the sport.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. That's why I definitely jumped all in on it. I think it's gonna be great, something different, which I love. I love anything that's gonna be different. Um, and it's it's a little easier for me to join in on something like that instead of travel, like you said, to all these other states and try to compete in live events where guys are fishing for 2 3 weeks pre-fishing and getting ready for it. Where me, I'm just showing up and it's a Hail Mary, like you said,
Yeah, showing up with just a give it all attitude, and that's it. That's all,
Right.
that's all I got to offer.
Yeah, right. That's all I got to offer here.
All I got
So
to
I'll
offer.
give it my best,
I'm gonna give it hell, but yeah. So
I'm gonna
so
give it
what?
hell. Let's give it
So
hell.
with the team part of it, how does the team like? Is it like a combined score when you guys compete against the other teams? Like you'll meet whatever team on this body of water,
Yep.
and okay, so
Yep.
it's
We'll let them know a week out. We'll let the team that's traveling down to us or vice versa a week out. We'll know. Barring any unforeseen weather conditions, we have like an alternate lake. They'll know about that. And then yeah, we'll leave out at the same time. Obviously public ramps and best 10 fish for the team. It'll be four anglers from that team fishing, four anglers from our team, and it's the best 10 fish of the day will be your overall score, and that's how it'll go down. Each teammate will have their own GoPro, and they'll take their footage throughout the day, and then it's going to go back to them, and then edited down and condensed into a beautifully packaged game,
now,
with interviews and everything else.
let's just say like if someone couldn't make it to that event, are you allowed to bring other people on, or is that just like like if you
Yeah,
got
we got.
like you might have to fish with only 3 people, but it doesn't matter because you're only going for the best 10 fish.
The minimum, I believe, is three. But that's why we have eight. You can have 8-man teams, 6-man team, and two alternates, and they're able to, you say, yeah, you can't put a team together. You're able to call your alternates up to fish for you. So minimum is three though that you could have on the water. But you're trying to obviously with 8 guys, you should be able to put four guys on the water.
Right.
And have a 4-on-4.
Now, is it going to be like a regional thing where like you go against teams in your region and then move up to? Okay, so yeah, this is going to be
Up
fun.
into the playoffs. The playoffs, then
Right.
it's anything goes.
Okay.
You're obviously everyone's trying to win home field advantage.
Right.
If you win home field, now like the playoffs in football, everybody's got to come through you, and now that's it. You don't travel no more. You come to us. We picked Fellsmere as one of our home lakes. We weren't going to pick Fellsmere because it's obvious a lake that maybe anyone could come down and put together an unbelievable day. I mean, there is strategy to that lake, of course. You don't go and catch 100 fish every time you go there, but you could get lucky. So we weren't gonna pick that lake, but we said, you know what, that's one of the top lakes in the country. Let's use it, and if someone beats us, shame on us, man. Shame on us. So that was the thing, is letting everybody know that there's strategy involved, but you got to pick good lakes, man. No one wants to watch 1 or 2 fish being caught, the team winning. A team winning 2-0, and the away team came and they didn't catch a bass. No one's gonna want to watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
People want to see big fish.
Yeah, you got to think about the entertainment part of it too.
Right.
That's perfect to do. That's the way you have to do it, because you're not going to get the big sponsors or whatever Greg's goals are. He won't be able to reach them unless people are buying into this and want to watch it. Because I mean, it's different now with the way COVID and everything hit the industry. Like you got to be entertaining and you got to have good content. That's the end of it.
It's like, like what Bassmaster, when they would bring 10-pounders to the weighing scales and 8-pounders to the weigh. That's what people want to see.
Right.
They don't want to see little 2-pounders and 2 or 3 fish. So we picked Fellsmere, we picked Okeechobee, and we picked Tenorock, which Tenorock right now is one of the best kept friggin' bass places in the country. I mean, that place is just perfect.
So how many events do you think you will compete in? Just doing this. Like, say if you don't do any more whatever KBF events or anything, like how busy is this league going to keep you?
That'll be a few months worth of worth of tournaments. That could stretch into 2-3 months worth of tournaments with playoffs and stuff and championship and God willing. And before that, the national qualifier, for the national championship. That goes on in I think that's in April. So between April, so from April, May, June, July, August, yeah, Greg's got me pretty busy. You
Well, that's
know,
cool, man. I like that. I have to bring Greg on the show and have him talk about it because this is, like I said, I hadn't really paid attention because I get annoyed with you guys sending me all these friend requests and stuff. It's like all these teams. I'm like, who are these people? But now that I'm learning more about it, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be badass. It's especially with like the way some of these teams are put together. Good luck against the guys from the Northeast. Jesus,
oh yeah, man. Oh yeah,
Kenwood, like every Brundle,
Brundle,
Conant.
Conan. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they travel well too, man. These guys travel well. They don't seem to have a problem going anywhere.
no,
So
not at all. I don't get it. Jesus, like what am I doing wrong in life? But
what am I doing wrong in life?
yeah,
Yeah, no, they're pretty good, man.
yeah,
You know those Northeast guys, man. The Northeast guys are, they think different, man. They do things differently, you
yeah.
know.
But I tell you what, though, I didn't like they can fish. Like those
Yeah,
guys can fish, man. They can go anywhere in the country and take your lunch money. I mean,
yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. How good those guys are. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because fishing up here is so much harder, and like we just got that attitude, like we're freezing all the time. We're just pissed off and
Just
angry.
angry.
We get to a place like Florida and sunshine and shit. We just get whatever. We bring our Northeast attitude down there. I don't know, but
That's it.
it's crazy how it how those guys have all like just the amount of first place and checks they've cashed. It's just unreal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's cool, man. I love seeing it. I love watching that, man. Being from the Northeast and I know, man, I grew up, seeing these guys from the Northeast, man. They can fish.
Yeah,
We got a lot of water up that way, people don't understand that. I mean, I grew up in the Bronx in the city, but right outside the city, it's water. You got salt water, you got from Montauk to Cape Cod to, I mean, we got some of the most premier fisheries in the country, and saltwater, freshwater, reservoirs, lakes.
yeah,
People just always think Northeast, you think big cities,
yeah.
but it's a lot of water, man.
A lot of
Rivers and
Great
streams, you
Lakes,
got
Finger
trout,
Lakes, yeah,
Great Lakes. I mean, we got it all up there. We got it all.
yeah.
We really do.
It just sucks that like for like 3 months of the year you can't touch it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, because you're right. I mean, one of the good things about it is like we're ready to fish when that season. As soon as that ice
Oh
falls,
man.
like we're out there in the water and we're getting after it. And
Yeah, you guys really appreciate it. I remember that growing up. I remember though that feeling of, the ice leaving the top of the water and just being, it's just a different feeling. Down here, I've got spoiled, man.
right,
I go fishing whenever I want. It's 40 degrees, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not going out today.
you get all soft. You get all soft.
Get all soft and stuff, But I remember being a kid and just, when it iced out and just being just so excited, man, to get out fishing again. And it was just a different feeling, You really appreciated it. So it's cool. It's definitely cool. I do miss that end of it,
Right.
That real. I mean, I still appreciate it. I still love it, but I lost a little bit of that appreciation for it,
Right.
Now it's right outside my back door whenever I want it at any time, fresh or salt water. So,
Well, cool, man. We'll wrap this thing up soon, but let's talk
Yep.
about just what for all congratulations, man. Like it really was cool to see you perform well and to cash checks and to really back it up because like it's a catch-22. Like people want to see you fail and some people want to see you succeed. I obviously want to see you succeed. I liked you from the get-go. But congratulations on cashing those checks and proving that you do know how to fish a little. But is there anything that you want to change up for 2021? Like, cause like you're in it now. People know who you are. People know you can fish. They already want to see what you can do outside the state. Like besides the KFL, is there anything that you want to do this year or things you want to try to accomplish?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have my eyes on all the big events. The Hobies, obviously, and Bass and stuff. I'll keep my eye on them, and I'll see how my schedule plays out. What maybe I could sneak off to and go do. But yeah, I'm not afraid to go anywhere and fish. I don't see an issue there. But my eyes on everything right now.
Okay.
My eyes open to every event anywhere in the country, and I'll see what maybe I could sneak to and do. But for right now, KFL's set. Couple of local events, the KAF Kayak Anglers of Florida. They got their events going on, so I'll probably try to sneak to a few of those. So yeah, everything's on the table, man. Everything's on the table. So
Well, good, man. Well, you got me up too early. So I'm not drinking any beer. I'm drinking coffee. So
Right. Yeah, me too.
Gotta get some shit done today. But I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Is there anyone you want to thank real quick? Sponsors or where people can follow you? Do some shameless plugs, man.
Shameless plugs. Yeah, no, just Feel Free Kayaks, which I've been, just ever since I jumped on my Feel Free Kayak, I've been just loving the crap out of that thing. Gamble Allures, man. That's my go-to. Save me on Sunday. My Gamble Allures, And that's pretty much it. Everybody that I met and shook hands with over in Kissimmee, man, it was real cool. Everybody showed me a lot of love over there, So I didn't know what the reception was going to be for me, but I've learned that I've gotten a lot of respect and a lot of love from that group, and I give it right back to them. Much respect to all the people that do it. It's very cool.
Well, cool, man. Good luck with the rest of the season. I'm sure I'll have you back on soon. Keep me updated on the KFL. I'll get Greg on the show soon now too, because I really want to learn more about this because it sounds freaking awesome. So, but I'll talk to you again soon, man. Have a good day.
All right.
And
Greatly appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, man. Be good.